Okay, my name is John DeLacy. I attended this school here. When I wasn't in college, it was just Clogger Road Tech, it was known at the time, from 1964 to 1966. I did my group cert in 66, and then I went off at the tender age of 15 to serve my time in the big bad world. So I served my time for 5 years, and then 5 years as a tradesman. I got married, did a lot of other things, and then I joined the army. And in 76 I joined the army, and in 2004, I won't believe this, I was in Sarajevo in NATO headquarters, and I got a phone call from an officer in charge of training, and he said, "Do you still want to do that leaving cert?" Because I had applied the year before. And in 2004, when I came home to Sarajevo in September, I started to do my leaving cert 40 years after I'd been in school here. So in 2006 then, I did my leaving cert, 2004 2006, and then I went back to the army, and in 2010 I retired. But just before I left me last year, I was bumped into Violet Ennis. She used to teach history here, and she's retired now, yeah. And Violet said, "What are you going to do when you retire, John?" I said, "I don't know what I'm going to do." I said, "You should do the pre-university course." So in 2010, when I retired, in 2011 I applied, and I bumped into Sarah Timmins, and she says, "Up here, John," because she taught me a couple of years before, and I signed on to do the pre-university course, which is the top course. And a lot of your students probably do that still. But there was a snag. When I was in the army, I was sent to NUI Galway on long distance learning for the army, for the military. And what happened was I got a diploma in education and training. Now, I thought that was vocational. I didn't think that would interfere with the Trinity Access program. But when I went down to Trinity about like 5 weeks before we finished here, the girl down there said, "Oh no, John, you can't do the Trinity Access program because you've been in a third level institution." So she said, "You can't come here." So I just wrote off to UCD. I said, so I had to do an exam and go into UCD. So the pre-university course still mattered because I was now just going to a different university. So I went to UCD in, I think it was 14, 2015. I qualified with a first class honour in history in UCD. And that's where my education is more or less finished, so 2015. But I still read and do things like that. But you did mention at the start, why did I come here, you know? Like, you couldn't leave school until you were 14 in the 1960s. And there was no free second level education until 1966. And I lived in Dolphin House, just down the road. And my dad wanted me to be a tradesman. So to be a tradesman, you had to get your group cert. And to get your group cert, you had to go to one of these colleges, these vocational schools. So my mother brought me up here, 13, and enrolled me, and it cost £4 for the year. £4. Now, it was a fortune. My poor mother had to scrimp and say, because there was 8 other kids, well, 7 other kids behind me, there was 8 later on. So I come up here, 13, and you know who I did at school when I was here? Phil Linnett. I saw Phil Linnett fighting, actually in a row, fighting another fella, and big gang was around him, just behind the church there over St. Bernadette's. You know, he was Phil Linnett, just the only Phil Linnett. That statue down in town doesn't do him justice because he was about 6'4", and big, and about 10 inches of hair on top of that. But no, Phil Linnett came here, and but it was the local school, and the other thing was, where we're sitting now, this was the new extension. It was only open a couple of years, and it was all boys. There was no girls in the school, and where the canteen is now, that was the woodwork room on that end of the corridor. And the very last room, I did woodworking in that room there. And the very last, Mr. Nolan, and the very last room on that corridor on the right hand side was the metalwork room. And I did metalworking there with Mr. Donnelly. And then when you come this side of the corridor, the very first classroom on the left, that's where we did religious instruction. Father Brennan, I think he was from High Street. And have I got anybody else that I can remember? No, they're the only teachers I can really remember. We had a woman called, we used to call her Connie. I think her name was Miss called Cannon. She taught us physics, I think, and electricity. But the funny thing was, talk about children, and the pressure that they're under in school today. I remember at 14 years of age being told that the next exams we did, if we didn't pass them, we wouldn't be tradesmen. Talk about negative incentive. But anyway, that was you know, and a pass was 60%, not 40. You had to get 60 over 100 to pass, and you had to get one. You had to definitely get one practical subject before you could do your trades. Well, the trade I went to engineering, but it was great to come back in 2004 because it was mixed. School was mixed then, and the other thing about it was adult education, and it was kind of a different environment. Like, imagine you knew the teacher's first name. I mean, I said Mr. Nolan, Mr. Donnelly, Father Brennan. I never knew their first names. Whereas when I go back to do my leaving cert, I knew Maury McNeil, I knew Sarah Timmins and Violet Ennison, all the other teachers, Genevieve, I think, Cecile, who taught me French and things like that. Imagine learning an exotic language like French, you know, for a fellow with a lovely, beautiful Dublin accent like me. I mean, imagine how I butchered the French language. It's just funny, walking down the Champs-Élysées looking for, you know, a beer, une bière, s'il vous plaît. One beer. And I used the female of the genital there, so I won the ball. I still remember a little bit of French. But the pre-university course was great. That's a great course. Because when we went into university, you're so far ahead of all the other kids. No, I shouldn't say kids, children. But they're so far ahead of them. I mean, we were really way ahead of them. And I must say this now, I've had a lot of teachers all down through my career in national school and here 3 times. But a man who I always thought I should give special recommendation or praise to was Paul Reid. He came up from Trinity to teach us English. He was an elderly gentleman, but he was the best teacher I ever came across. And I know about instruction because I was an instructor in the army and I taught people how to instruct. Paul Reid was brilliant. Talk about motivating people, and you know, and he never had a bad word for anybody. When he throw out a poem and you could say something outrageous and he'd still say, yeah, well, you could look at it like that, you know. But he was fantastic. And doing things here, like I did philosophy, psychology. I mean, imagine a half-starved youngster from, you know, Dalton House doing philosophy and psychology and learning about these things. Fantastic. And it's great that people, I think, it's great that people who maybe when they're younger miss out can come back and they can do well. And the other thing that I learned from my life in this institution and other institutions is that there's not a whit of difference in the intelligence between most people. It's just that a lot of people don't get the chance, and this place gives them the chance. And I think that's to be celebrated.